Hey guys, this is Real Appalachia with Shane.
And Melody.
And today we're continuing our folklore series, but we decided to do it on location.
Yes.
And we're here at the Clay's Children's Cemetery at Lake Shawnee, West Virginia.
Yes.
And Melody's got a lot more information about this to share with you.
We do. I'm like a book of knowledge about this story.
You know a lot more than I do, that's for sure.
It's so interesting to me, and you guys know that I love the scary, spooky stuff, so this is right up my alley. Yeah. Yes.
I know the basics, but you really got the details on this one, so
yeah.
I'll turn the floor over to you.
So in the 1700s, all of this was part of the land of Lake Shawnee, and the Shawnee Indians inhabited the land, and they kind of started disappearing. It kind of weathered out for whatever reason, they're not really sure, and they found remnants of Indian belongings and burials in this area, and they actually believe now that there's more than 3,000 Shawnee Indians buried on this land.
Oh my gosh, wow,
yes.
I did not know that.
And so right over the hill is where the Lake Shawnee Amusement Park was, and it kind of
show some of that here in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to show all of that here in just a minute, so hang with us, but I'll give you some of the history of what happened up here. So in the 1700s, Mitchell and Phoebe Clay were two of the first settlers in Mercer County, and they kind of set up their homes here in this area. And unfortunately, in 1783, about 8 years after they had lived on this land, they were attacked by the Shawnee Indians, and their two children, Tabitha and Bartley, were killed here at this site.
Wow.
Where they are now also buried, and this lovely memorial is. They had a third son who the Shawnee Indians actually took into Ohio, and Mitchell followed them up there to find that his son had been burned at the stake. That son's name was Ezekiel.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and I may be wrong here, but I'm thinking that they actually got what remained of his body and brought it back down here at this land also. So this kind of served as a burial and memorial for the Clay family. So it's pretty cool to see. They've got this up here and everything.
Well, this feels peaceful. Is what's strange to think some of the horror that's been through this place.
There was a lot of horror, yeah, that went on up here.
You would have no idea that it was that way. But
yeah. So kind of what we said about like the Major Graham Mansion in that video, it's kind of spoiled soil already. And then in the 1920s is when they created the amusement park. So we will get down there and show you guys a little bit of that and tell you some of that history and haunting too.
I can tell you right now, I've never seen this cemetery in any videos that I've seen about it.
I haven't either, no.
So this might be a Real Appalachia exclusive.
I think it is. But it's a lovely little memorial. It was horrible tragedy.
Yeah. So we'll give you a last look at this statue, and then we'll get down there to, you'll see us in just a few seconds by the miracle of editing.
Yes.
We'll be down at the amusement park.
And we'll give you even more history on that. So.
Okay, we just came back down over the hill and found this road sign. It talks a little bit more about Mitchell Clay and where he settled here in 1775. And just like Melody had said about where 8 years later Indians killed two of his children and captured his son.
Yes.
And right across the road from here is where the Lake Shawnee Amusement Park was.
Yeah, you can see it's still fenced off and there's no trespassing signs up.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
Yeah. So Mitchell Clay, another interesting fact, was that he was part of Andrew Lewis's army that marched to Point Pleasant. So to me, it's kind of interesting. It's very similar to the Point Pleasant Indian kind of curse. It kind of ties all in together in West Virginia, but we'll get on into show you a little bit more of the amusement park stuff and talk about that. But it definitely seems like there was some kind of curse that lingered over this land.
Yeah, between the Indians and Andrew Lewis. I don't know which one, maybe it's the Andrew
Who
Lewis
had it
curse.
worse? Yeah. So, yeah.
It's interesting, but we'll show you a little bit more. Still a couple good-looking things to see here, so
yeah.
Let's get on the road.
Okay. You can see there to the right the little blue ticket booth.
Oh, yeah.
And this was the swimming hole, an old school bus.
This is straight out of Jason Voorhees movie, isn't it?
It really is. There you get a little bit better look of the swings and the Ferris wheel, and a creepy old truck. It looks like what Jeepers Creeper guy drove there.
Yeah.
Little sign for paddle boats, which they had.
Such a small park. I can't believe how small this is with so much tragedy. It's just hard to register with me.
It really is in such a small community too.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it was bustling at the time.
Yeah. But there it is. There has to be a house of horrors when they...
Yeah. Land of tragedy.
Yeah, this is side view of the Ferris wheel.
Yes,
Pretty
and
much intact, isn't it?
and the swings, yeah. And the Jeepers Creepers, man.
Yeah. Good shot.
So you can see over there by the ticket booth is the little toy igloo playground and slide.
See that huge bird fly?
All right, so right in front of us there is in memory of Conley T. Sniddow, the founder of Lake Shawnee, actually the amusement park. So in the 1920s, this land that belonged to the Clays was purchased by him. He was a businessman, and he kind of turned this area into the amusement park that was bustling for many, many years. And there was the Ferris wheel you could see, and the turning swings, and this swimming pond also. So one day in the 60s, a little girl was on those turning swings to the left there, and a delivery truck actually backed into the path of the swings. Jeez. And she was killed.
Oh
and
God, that's horrible.
Yes. And I think shortly after that, or maybe shortly before, there was a little boy who was killed swimming in the swimming pond here. I shouldn't have worded it that way. He drowned. And so they closed the park down then. There was actually 6 children that died at the amusement park.
My goodness gracious.
And it closed down, but it was once bustling. And in the 80s, I believe it was, it opened back up, but it just didn't take off like it was. And it's been seen as this cursed land this whole time.
It's a strange place to put an amusement park, isn't it? I mean, this is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It kind of is.
It's that idea is,
yeah.
You know.
It's not very safe for us right here, right now.
No.
So,
we may become part of the story.
I hope not.
One false move by a vehicle and we're right there.
I mean, it's pretty land, but you got to look at all those children that died and think there had to be something to that curse. I mean, it's just... It was so much tragedy.
Kind of hard to pick up on those Ferris wheel and the swings here because they're rusty and they fit in with the dead trees and all that stuff. But
yeah.
It's right back there.
I actually read that a lot of people reported swimming in the swimming pond that they actually felt like something grabbed their leg and was pulling them under. And I'm thinking that little boy wasn't the only drowning, but that's the only one on record that I could find.
Really is Jason Voorhees written all over it.
Yeah. They also say that sometimes you will see a lonely swing on that swing set kind of moving on its own when the wind's not really blowing and none of the others are moving. A lot of people pay tribute to the spirits of the children that were killed here by leaving toys or just kind of honoring them, and get some weird interaction from that as well. In most Octobers, they didn't this past year, and maybe not even the year before, they make it into a haunted attraction, a haunted circus amusement park kind of deal, and I went through it once. So actually, I think that the real history is scarier myself. It's a pretty wild story.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
When you hear that, you don't realize, I mean, how much tragedy in one little tiny spot.
Yeah.
And this thing is by no means some massive, this isn't Disney World.
No. No. And I mean, it really wasn't open, I mean, in a short span of time. So many deaths.
Which, you know, a lot of safety enhancements and so forth since then. But man, can you imagine coming here to have fun?
Yeah, but it wasn't like, you know, a faulty swing. That was a truck backing into a person.
It happened anywhere, yeah.
That's crazy. It was just kind of freak accident kind of thing.
But it all happened on this spoiled soil. I just stole your line. I like that.
You did.
Are you royalties on that?
I do. I need to copyright that. But yeah, so I think that that's the story of Lake Shawnee. It's a pretty interesting one, don't you think?
Absolutely.
So if you guys enjoyed this video, give us the thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our folklore videos. I've been really loving this series.
I have too, and it's really better to get on location and you can
It
feel.
is.
It just feels a little off, doesn't it?
Yes.
We always talk about vibes and stuff about places, and there's a definite vibe here at Lake Shawnee in there.
It's very creepy.
This is
very
much.
creepy. I mean, like, it's almost peaceful, but it's creepy. And you got to think of all of the Native Americans that were buried on this land too. I mean, there's so many burial spots on this land. It's kind of crazy to think about. And that has been proven by, I think it was Virginia Tech that come in and actually did some research.
Did like archaeological digs
yeah,
and whatever.
And found the remains. So this is actually an Indian burial ground.
Well.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on down the road. Hope you enjoyed this video.
Yes, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for our patrons and financial support that you give us. So
yes,
made this trip happen, just like all of them, honestly.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.